Live. Okay, making that go. Okay, hi people. So I am live on Instagram, live on Facebook today, and I want to. Hey Emily, hey Kirsten, yay, people here. Hello. So I wanted to just jump on. I just decided today to share. Hey Dana, hey Leslie, hey Jess. Amazing. Good morning. Yay. Hey Rach, hey Romy. Amazing. Hola. So I'm coming to you guys from Brooklyn in New York. It is actually steamy, steamy, friggin' hot today. I'm like sweating. I've been outside. It's driving around in New York traffic. It's been crazy, but all good stuff. So it's Sunday here. It is Monday where a lot of you amazing humans are. Hey Phil from Orlando, Emma, Mandy, hey my loves. So hey Ella, amazing. So yeah, I just wanted to share this quick thought that is kind of going on for me, that I feel like, we've just had the halfway mark of the year, so we're now in June. Hey Abby, hey Annalise, hey Kirsty, yay, amazing humans online. Hey Ella. So yeah, so I just wanted to just create some space actually to really allow myself, but also you, to actually have a moment to reflect, because we all live such fast-paced, busy lives, and so many of us never take the time to just actually stop and create the space for ourselves to check in and ask ourselves, are we where we want to be? Am I moving in the direction I want to go? What's working? What's not working? What can I improve on? Hey Penelope, hey Sophia. So I wanted to create that space for you, and I've had a lot of stuff happen for me, as a lot of you will know recently. I mean, I'm here in New York. I've been in Italy. I'm now officially sort of on the move. Hey Ellie. So it's causing a lot of things to come up for me to look at what's working for me, how this is feeling, but also really what the main sort of point for me is actually taking the moment to reflect and actually checking in and tuning in and seeing that where I am right now was once a really huge dream. And so many of you guys are also in places in your life where you only dreamt that you would be there, and you are there. But what we have this really bad habit of doing is constantly pushing ourselves to be somewhere else that we are not. So we're here and we want to be here, and as soon as we get here, we're wanting to be here. And so what this does is keep us in this constant state of frustration, dissatisfaction, overwhelm, because we always feel like we need to be somewhere that we will never get to. And so, the power of reflecting and the importance of reflecting, hey Tracy, hey Tanya, is so important, because otherwise we just literally stay like hamster wheels on this hamster wheel of life, just pushing, running, and never, ever arriving where we keep telling ourselves we want to go. So, I'm now officially on the move, full-time in my business, living in New York City, and LA. I don't really know where I live. People are like, where have you, I was at this party on Friday night, and they're like, oh yeah, have you moved here? And I'm like, yeah, sort of. Well, I'm here for like another 10 days, and then I'm in LA, and then I don't really know where I live right now. But, I'm on the move, which obviously has a whole another scope of things that I need to learn how to do. But, this was a dream for me, to be living in New York or living in America and running my business online, and even having a big business that I can run online is in and of itself its own dream. So, what do you have in your life right now that you can reflect on and really tune into, and realize that there was a moment in your life that wasn't there, and you were wanting it to be there so badly, but it's come in, and have you taken a moment to actually be grounded in the fact that you created that, and that your life has changed, and that you created that change? Thank you, Leslie. Amazing. So that could literally be a relationship, it could be health, it could be a business, it could be clients, it could be behaviors, it could be a certain mindset that you've created or cultivated. It could be so many different things. And so we really want to allow that to move us forward, and really create that space to reflect. Because I know when we're busy in our life doing anything, but especially building businesses, it can be so, there's just always a new thing we have to do. There's always, I was on this mindset call the other day, and it was talking about, running businesses and how we always have to be on, bringing the new sale or bringing in something new. And firstly, we obviously want to build a business so we don't always have to be in that space, but it can get a little bit like that in life and in business. And so we really need to have ways that we, habits or rituals, or taking some time out to stop and really allow ourselves to give ourselves the gratitude and to just really have that ritual of tuning in. So I actually want to just do this with you guys now really quickly. So wherever you are, hopefully you have somewhere a little quiet. So it's going to be really, really quick. I just want you to shut down your eyes for a second and just take a few deep breaths, and just breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Just taking a little bit of a mindful moment and breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. And I just want you to think about how the first half of this year has gone for you. Looking around your life, seeing what you've created, seeing what you've shifted, seeing things you've moved through, you've overcome, things that you set as goals that you've now brought into your life, maybe relationships, health, wellness, business, money, motivation, connections, and just tuning in and giving yourself gratitude for the creation that you have cultivated. Really feeling that in your body and just taking a moment to see what you have in your life today that once you had only dreamed would be there. And just breathing in a deep breath of gratitude and breathing out any resistance or judgments. And when you're ready, just open your eyes. Just want to keep that really brief. So, maybe send me through a little message, who saw something that you could feel really grateful for. So many times we can put the bar so high to, we have to have this, and this. And not, until we have all of those things, we don't allow ourselves to feel gratitude, or we don't allow ourselves to feel peaceful, or we don't allow ourselves to feel, freedom or love or passion, whatever those feelings are that you're looking for. We often make it so hard for us to feel those things. And so when we reflect, when you reflected there, maybe you had something in your life that you have been trying to. Amazing, Annalise. Yeah, we have enough of them. Hey, Tammy. So I'm loving these little love hearts over here on Instagram. If you guys are liking this, reminds me of Joel Brown. If you guys are into this, like and share, want to get this message out there, give me some love. Awesome. Thanks, Jess. So maybe there was something in your life that, I've got a nice sweaty glow on happening here too. Sweaty Sunday chic. So maybe there was something in your life that you've been really wanting to create. Maybe it is a business, maybe it is health, maybe there's some area of your life that you've really wanted to change in, but it's actually not changing. Because we want to get real here as well. This is not always just about, we want to have the yin and the yang, we want to have the gratitude, but we also want to be really real with ourselves. What in your life are you wanting to create? What in your life have you been wanting to create that isn't changing, that isn't moving the way you want to go, that isn't seeing the shifts that you are wanting to see? Because we need to get really real about that as well. Why isn't that changing? What are you wanting to create in your life that you've been wanting to create forever or change forever, and it's not moving, it's not changing? So the bigger reflection, so grateful. Aw, thank you, Leslie, I love you. So Ella is saying, so grateful for some lessons I've learned in the past few months and the recent changes I've been on that put me on the right path. Amazing. Yeah, and you were on fire, and I know you're about to explode, which is amazing. So yeah, so what is not changing? You know, because I have a lot of conversations with women all the time, and I'm very privileged to have really insight access and really intimate conversations around, you know, the deepest desires with a lot of people. And that's also, you know, whether it's a client conversation, whether it's a sales conversation, but also just in my own life, I really like to get into the deepest, you know, deep conversations with people, because that's what I really care about. That's what matters to me. I'm very grateful for you too, Ella. Hey, Brooke. So, and so what I hear a lot of is, you know, a lot of reasons, you know, a lot of reasons why not. A lot of, you know, reasons could also be subbed out as excuses. There's just so many reasons that people put in the way of living the life they want, of creating the things that they want to create, of getting to the goals they want to create. You know, there's just so many reasons. Like, take your pick, right? And, you know, I can do this in my own life as well. And whenever, you know, I encourage you, anytime you want to put a reason in front of why you can't have something or why things aren't working, I really encourage you and invite you to turn that around and really look at yourself and say, is this true? And is there something else that I could choose instead of this in this moment? Is there something instead of this that I could choose that would move me forward? Because the thing is that, you know, the reality is we all have the same 24 hours in the day, right? We all really, in the grand scheme of it, we all have the same access, especially now with the internet. It's really even the playing field. We all have the same access to living the kind of life we want to live, to creating the kind of impact we want to create, to really opening up the world the way we want to live it. So if it's not happening for you, then I encourage and invite you to really look at yourself as to why that is not happening. When you're seeing people create the results that you want to create in your life, this is simply an invitation to you to create the same. You know, I actually get really excited when I see people living the life that I want to live, because instead of feeling like there's not enough of that left for me, what that actually shows me is that the life that I want to live is 100% a possibility for me. So if it is not happening for you, then I encourage and I invite you to look at what you are not doing or what you are continuing to do that is not producing you the results that you want to create in your life. And this is all part of reflection. You know, I rant on, I start with the topic, and then I tend to rant. But this is also about reflecting, because if something is not changing for you, if something is not moving you forward, if your life looks the same today as it did 6 months ago, a year ago, 12 months ago, that's fine, unless you're wanting it to be different. If you're wanting it to be different and it is not changing, then I invite you to look at yourself. You know, I had some feedback from someone today, and I'm definitely a place for feedback. I absolutely love to know how, you know, any of my work plans with people, what people expect from me, and I'm like one of my mentors says, I take the truth like a man. So I'm really into receiving feedback from people. But it was interesting. I received feedback from someone, and it was around something that one of my products, and just like feeling that they didn't get the result maybe that they were looking for. And I definitely want to know why, and I definitely want to know about that. But it's also really an opportune moment to look, because I know I can do this in my own life, and I can project and say, I didn't get that result from that thing that I signed up for, or that I thought I would get a result from. And there's always an opportunity for us to look and say, okay, what did I not give? How did I not show up? When did I not ask for help when I needed help? How can I learn about how I engage with that opportunity and reflect as to why I did or did not get the result that I got? Because, you know, life, like I said, everyone has the same 24 hours. We all have the same choices, essentially, that we can make. So if someone's creating a result and you are not creating the result that you want in your life, then it's something that we have an opportunity to look at and ask ourselves why. And this is actually really, really exciting, because if we're constantly the victim of our own circumstances, so if we're constantly saying, we didn't achieve this because it was your fault, or I didn't achieve that because I didn't get the opportunity, I do that because, the timing was never right. I didn't have enough time. Whatever the reason / excuse is, if we liberate ourselves from that, we become empowered to create our own opportunity. Like, as I've sort of said, I'm now a total global gypsy. I'm running a business. I'm in New York right now. I'm going to be in LA next week. I was in Italy last week. I'm going to be in Africa in July and August. That sounds all very glamorous, but it's actually a lot of work. And it's also really scary. Like, I'm going to be like, this is about, I like to keep it real. This presents itself a whole nother array of fears, of doubts. And it's important to share that because it's so easy to look at people living the life we want to live and assume that and I posted about this the other day, assume that it's just all good and that I'm just gallivanting around and, but no, I have to make sure I'm, it's a Sunday today. It's a beautiful sunny day outside, but I have emails to answer. I've got calls to get ready for. I have work that I need to do. And it can be scary thinking, okay, am I going to have enough money to do this? Am I going to, things going to keep moving the way I want them to move? Time zones. I've got 5 different time zones to cater to. So it's just really important to also know that whatever it is you're wanting to create, you will also, not to put that on a pedestal either, be empowered to make the decisions you want to make, to live the life that you want to live, but also know that there's no magic ticket to a life without any problems or a life that has no things you need to think about. So it just, wherever you're going in your life, it just presents a different opportunity for you to grow. But it's important to not always seek something that we don't have and assume that has all the answers for us. And like it's some utopia that if we just could get there, that everything would be okay. So, I want you to ask yourself, what is working in your life right now? What can you be grateful for? What can you be excited that you've created in your life right now? What, the power, like our quality of our life is the quality of the questions that we ask ourselves. So if we're constantly asking, why isn't this working? Why is she getting it and I'm not getting it? Why can't I change? Why do I not have enough money? I'm just gonna, then we're going to get shitty answers, like because you don't do the work, because you don't have the time in the day, because whatever the reason is. But the thing is that there really is no reason why you can't have what you want to have. So if you just stop believing in any of the reasons you keep telling yourself, then your whole entire life will open up. And if you have been trying to launch or start a business and you don't feel like you know the next steps forward, then get help. If there's another area of your life that you feel like isn't working, maybe your relationships aren't working, maybe your health isn't working, there's so many amazing ways for us to get the help we need. We don't need to expect ourselves to have all the answers. So if what you're wanting to create in your life is not happening and it's not changing, then you have to look at why that is not changing. Why you're seeing other people grow and you're not growing. Why you are seeing other people with beautiful, inspiring relationships and you don't have one. Why are these things staying the way that they are? And when we liberate ourselves from our reasons, then we can come up with more empowered answers and actions as to how we can then create those changes. I'm going to read some of these comments because I really am grateful for your comments. So Kristen said, started in America, which is pretty amazing. I'm grateful for that chapter in the journey. Came home to truly make myself and get clarity. Yeah, and so this one is the one to watch, FYI. Kirsten Morrison, remember the name. She is a powerhouse and absolutely stepping in and stepping up and absolutely changing her life and creating a business from a place of power and commitment and nurturing. She's an absolute bombshell. Okay, the other day, rather than expend the energy reinforcing your limitations. Totally. So, and that's a really great point that Kirsten has just made about, spending energy on why we can do something as opposed to thinking about all the reasons why we can't. And that's so great and true because there's only so much energy to go around and what we focus on expands. So if we're focusing on all the reasons and all the ways, hey, Carly, hey, Danielle, and Abby and Emma over here, and Abby and Ella, sorry my love, over here on Instagram as well. Total Game Changers from Bootcamp. Glorious, glorious girls based in Brisbane. Something in the water over in Brisbane. Something in the water over there. Yeah, so where we focus on expand. So if you're constantly sharing with other people, hanging out with people that are reinforcing to you why it's a hard journey, why there's not enough money to go around, why the housing market's so expensive, why this, why that, and you're constantly, reinforcing that story to yourself as well, then you're wasting all of your energy that you could be spending on looking for a solution, on constantly feeding the reality of the what you don't want. And so we really have to take ownership. Like, this is also about taking ownership, reflecting, creating the space. Thanks, Danielle, for correcting. I was like, I'm not going to shout you out for that, but I appreciate that. She called me Emma, but then she reflected and realized my name was Emily and changed. So really, how can you take ownership and create the space, reflect on what's working, give yourself the gratitude for taking the actions on creating the things that are working in your life, reflect on what is not working, and see what you need to do in order to change that. It was like I was walking in Union Square with my friend Garrett yesterday, and we were talking about okay, how it's going to be. He said, I can't wait for in 2 years' time we walk through here. And he's working on becoming a producer and creates amazing music, and he's just total creative artist. And he was saying about when he was would be a music superstar and can't wait for that to happen in 2 years. And it was actually 2 years ago. It was actually our friend anniversary, the day that I saw him 2 days ago, which was 2 years ago since I had seen him. Anyway, boring story. But we were sitting in Union Square and he was saying that to me, and I was like, you know what? It's 2 years ago that we had the same conversation in Union Square because I came for Spirit Junkie Masterclass. And 2 years ago, I don't even think I would know that I was here in 2 years. You can dream when you have these big dreams, but I have created that change in my life. I'm now living with my business on the go, living in New York, living in LA, living in the ether, wherever I live now. But that was a really great moment of reflection and really saying, you know what, I'm actually have created what we said that I would love to have created. I have more money than I thought I would have. I've got a bigger business than I thought I would have. I am here. I am living this. I have created that. And so the power of really doing that, so I encourage you to do that in your own life and actually look at what you have created and use that to get yourself off the hamster wheel for just a minute and just really be grounded in the fact that you've created magic and that you are moving yourself forward. And then also being brave and courageous to look at where you have not created the change and ask yourself why that change has not been created. So we really want to use both, the pain and the pleasure to move us forward to create what we want to create. Because like I said, we are in control of, control. Take that statement with a grain of salt. We are in control of our own destiny, and we are also not in control. And what I mean by that is we need to be straddling that line between taking inspired action and trusting and surrendering. There is a huge amount of trust and surrender going on for me at the moment with my journey. I didn't book my flight from I haven't booked my flight from New York yet because I'm just sort of seeing what's popping up to me. I'm really trying to see what feels aligned in terms of where I need to be and what I need to go and do. Am I taking massive action? Yes. Is my business growing? Yes. Am I making really good money? Yes. Am I still scared? Yes. Am I still leaning and trusting and surrendering and being fearful? Yes. All of those things, are part of the same puzzle. And so I'm allowing myself to be guided and to tune in and create the space to see where life is trying to send me, and not control everything. But also, when I say we are in control, you are in control of creating anything that you want to create in your life. There is nothing, trust the process, totally, trust the universe. It does have our back, and that's why we are really in control of creating the results that we want in our life. Because if you want something, that fire you have, that vision I had a few years ago of living in New York and moving into New York and having an online business and creating, speaking on stages and all of those things, like that was once just a little vision, which is now a complete reality. But that was, all of you on here, you beautiful, amazing, glorious girls. I know so many of you have this desire, this dream, this business, this flame, this connection, this deep need to create a life on your terms and a life of impact and a life of sharing and helping so many other people live those lives as well. That flame, that trust, that faith that you have, that is the voice we need to trust. That is the voice we need to follow. And when we do that, that is when we are supported. And that is when, we just have to lean into that. Because that is where, I didn't have everything figured out when I left New Zealand. Like, I look in my bank account and there's just more money in there than there was when I looked last time. But that's, that you can never, I could have waited in New Zealand and waited until I had, twice as much, 3 times as much, 4 times as much, money or whatever. Because, this fear of like, oh, am I going to keep making money? Is it going to keep working? Am I going to keep, getting clients? Is it going to keep moving? Am I going to have enough money to live in the States? Like, it's very expensive here. And those fears, those thoughts could have kept me in New Zealand. I could still be there, still thinking the same thing, still waiting for the right time, waiting to have enough money, waiting for all of these things to happen. But ultimately, it's about leaning in and creating the space and creating the time for it to be the right time. Because when you commit and when you lean in and you say to life, okay, this is what I want and I'm leaning in, do you have me? It shows you that it has you. It really, really does. But when we control everything and we fear and we keep ourselves stuck, that's when we don't have any room for life to come and support us. So coming back to the topic of reflecting, and hit me up if you have any questions or anything you want me to chat about. Hey Katie, hey Tegan, hey Sherry, hey Catherine and Penelope. So, asking ourselves powerful questions, really taking the space to really, creating the space to reflect, to see what is going well, giving ourselves gratitude for what is going well, and using that as fuel to keep moving us forward, and also as evidence, right? Because we often, what fear is like this negative filter that makes us look for all of the ways that it's not right? So that's essentially what fear is. It's like a filter, false evidence appearing real, right? So when we have that filter of fear, then we look, and I see this all the time on, sales calls and with prospective clients. We have this where they feel so passionate and so excited and so trusting and so sure. And then as soon as they, hop off the phone, or as soon as they start thinking instead of feeling, then that negative mindset creeps back in, and all of the reasons why not creeps back in. And that filter, the fear filter, comes back on, and then all of a sudden they're seeing all of the ways why it's not the right time, why it's not going to work, all of these other things that come in. So, why I share that with you is because I really want to encourage you to really embody that feeling space and trusting that when you're making decisions from that place of trust and of faith and of passion that are being driven from your heart, that is when you cannot get led wrong. This will lead you wrong, and this one will always lead you right. And yes, it will still be scary, but if you're following your heart and you're following your emotions and you're following that pull, then that is already you being guided. Your opportunity is to trust that is leading you to where you want to go. So what have you got in your life already that you can be grateful for? Use that as fuel to move you forward. Use that as fuel and evidence to show you that you are a powerful manifester, that you do have the ability to create epic results in your life. Because what we tend to do is actually segment our life. We go, okay, cool, yeah, I know I can create amazing results in my relationships, but I can't do it in my health. or I know I can do it in my health, but I can't do it in my business. But everything you create in your life comes from you. It comes from your mindset. It comes from your character. It comes from your actions. So if you have created epic results in any area of your life, then you can do it in your business, or you can do it in any other area of your life. So really use that as evidence to drive you forward in those other goals that you have in your life. Danielle has said, fear filter is definitely something I struggle with. Yeah, money is the biggest fear. Totally. Look, money and time are like two of the biggest excuses that people will use for anything. And I totally get the money mindset, and it's such a big thing. And it just really can get its claws in you because it feels so real. And because we have to live, we have to have money to pay the bills, right? But it's also, it's one of those things that if we don't have the money to do the thing that we know we need to do to change our life, and we don't do it, I always say, if you can't afford to, is it more that you can't afford not to? And I share this very openly because I think it's important. Like, I've invested over $100,000 in my personal development, over in the last sort of 5 years. I've spent about 11 or 12,000 in the last 6 months. I have a coach that I spend $500 a week on. I'm in courses. I'm in so many things. I'm living here in New York, and our apartment in LA is like $3,500 for like 20 days, and it's American dollars. Like, that stuff is scary. I get it. But the thing is that when we stop ourselves from doing things because of fear, then we're literally saying, I am committing to this not changing. So, if we don't have what it is we need to move ourselves forward, then we have to find what it is and what is going to help us get there. We are in control. We are the only reason why it will or why it will not. So, use that. Be empowered by that. This is about empowering you to change your own circumstance and to trust a little bit more in, yourself, and how, what your heart is telling you, and because it doesn't ever lead you wrong. Like, it is the signal, it is the signpost, it is the truth, so my life the past few months, I guess I can do that after all. Totally, Kristen. Like I just said, so I've left New Zealand, and things are still working. I'm still making money. I'm still getting clients. I'm still able to do this. You will never have the perfect time. You will never have the right amount of money. It will never look that way, So it's just about empowering yourself to make. I'm doing this, sorry, because I've got my Instagram over the comment section. So reflect on what's working. Reflect on what you need to do, how you need to change, or how you need to enroll others to support you, to move you forward to where it is you want to go. Ask yourself quality questions. Really just create that space to check into what is working. Use what is working to fuel you and give you the confidence to know that you have what it takes to move it forward. And also, because money, back to the money thing as well, right? Because people thinking, like, the word expensive, right? Like, the term expensive, it's such a subjective term because it just depends on what you value. And I ask you to look at where in your life you're spending your money, and are you spending or investing? Because so many times people will say they don't have the money for certain things, but they are, and someone posted about it today, it's like, but they're buying new phones, they're buying new clothes, they're buying certain things. What we spend our money on is a direct reflection of our values. So, my value is my business, is growth, is travel, is health. So that's where all of my money goes. It goes on healings, it goes on coaches, it goes on, staying in nice places because my environment is very important to me. It goes, I don't ever shop because I don't really value, plus my suitcase is really small now. So I'm like, literally have no room in my suitcase. But I don't get value out of that. So someone could say that a $10, a $50 bag is expensive, where someone might say that was a total bargain. Someone will think that spending $1,000 on a coach is expensive, whereas people would say that's a total bargain. What do you value, and what result are you getting from that? And so it's all perspective, and it is all on your own values. So, but with investing and with spending, because a lot of you girls are women in business, I really encourage you to look at what your return on your investments are that you're making in your life. So, and I had this reframed in one of the courses that I'm in. It's like, okay, the question making, and this is, again, comes down to the power of your questions. Can I afford that? Is not a very empowering question. But a question like, will I be able to bring in this amount of money into my business if I invest in this program? The answer is likely yes. So, for example, like I'm in a $5,000 program at the moment, which is mindset course. It's like a weekly call for like 25 minutes, and it's like a training program, but it's mostly a mindset program. That's $5,000. But the question, instead of can I afford that, where I literally go and I look at my bank account right now and I see what it says and I think, okay, can I afford that? Which often, for a lot of us, the answer is often no. But the question is, can I bring in an extra $5,000 into my business through what I will learn in this program? And the answer to that question will determine whether or not you invest in that program. So for me, I know the answer to that question is yes, because it's cultivating a rock solid, like peak 1% mindset, becoming a 1%er in my mindset. Do you think having a rock solid 1% mindset, the guy that's taking this course is a billionaire, he's the husband to the CEO, to the founder of Stanks, both billionaires, founded and sold marquee jets to Warren Buffett. This dude is a maniac, lived with a SEAL, a Navy SEAL for a month, rock solid, no quitting, no BS mindset. Do you think I'm going to bring in $5,000 into my business as a result of having a mindset like that? The answer is obviously yes. So instead of looking at my bank account right when the opportunity was presented to me, that might be a less empowering decision-making process. But thinking about all of the opportunities that I can create in my life after I learn everything I'm going to learn and am learning in this course, that's a very different picture. So it's just our own relationship and our own mindset and our own question and decision-making process that determines, whether something is expensive or inexpensive. So I empower you and I ask you to change that filter and to change that thought process, because that is a lot more empowering, and that's going to be the thing that changes your destiny. Amen, Abby. You are, it's happening. So that's going to be the thing. So the people that say they can't afford it and they know that it's something that will change their future, in 6 months, 12 months, a year, it's still going to be where your life is. So I share that with you not to discourage you or to, make you feel disempowered. This is about empowerment. This is everything in your life is mindset. It's not the conditions that you're looking at in your life. All of our conditions are our own making, but it's what we do with the conditions, and it is how we feel about the conditions and what we commit to moving forward that will make the difference and create the impact in your life. So I'm going to shut this down. So reflect on what has worked. Use that as power, as fuel to move you forward. Look at what is not working. Be real about what is not working and what do you need to do to change your situation, to change your circumstance, to do things differently. Get real with yourself. Everything in your life is there because you have created it. Just so exciting, powerful creators. But is it effective? Is it not effective? Do you choose it? How can you choose something that can move you forward? Controlling the questions that you ask yourself and asking yourself questions that will empower you to make empowered decisions. And that's all from me. So this is June. There's another 6 months of this amazing year. How can you, my life and business is drastically different now than it was in December. I was making like $4,000 a month at the end of last year. I'm now making close to 20 to 25, soon to be 30,000 a month. And I share that with you, that it's not about the numbers, but it's about the growth, and it's about the possibility, and it's about the faith, and it's about the trust, and it's about the commitment, and it's about the long haul, and it's just about holding the vision for what is possible for you. So set your vision, set your goals, cast it out there, trust the process, and do the friggin' work as well. But actually, I totally nearly forgot. I have finally got my ebook ready to go out. So if you guys want to receive my ebook, it's called From 20,000 a year to 20,000 a month in 5 steps. So it's just a really simple ebook, just breaks down what I did to get to where I am now in my business. If you want that, just say yes please, and or just pop your email down, and then I will add that and get Chelsea to send that out to you. So that's now live. Or actually, you can just go to mgallagher/20k. That'll be way easier than the email thing. So just mgallagher.com/20k, and you can download that. You'll get sent it on an email. But I love you. You're all amazing. Thanks for being here with me. A lot of you in New Zealand and Australia on Monday mornings. It's Sunday here. Oh, Emma's on. Hey, this is Emma's glorious apartment that I'm in here in Brooklyn. I've got her little pup next to me. So mgallagher.com/20k if you want that book. I love you. Rock on with everything that you're doing, everything that you want to create in your life. You can, you will. It's so much closer than you think. Get out of your own way. Stop feeding yourself BS reasons and excuses why you can't have it, why it's not the right time, and go forth and conquer. Let's have an amazing second half of 2017. I love you. Thanks, Emily. And see you soon. Like, share. Joel Brown, last minute likes. Yay, thanks, girls. All right, lots and lots of